1v1 Quest Heresy blue side. You have Dark Riku, who plays his Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura. And up against on the red side is Wurgl, plays a Lictor alpha melee specialist that can infiltrate and disrupt with some great offense and a little bit of support. This is a highlight from the monthly Rumble tournament from August, held on August 24th. This is actually game 1 of the finals, so Dark Riku again getting to the finals. And Wurgl also, who knocked out Toilailee, who was the 2-time champion before August. He won the 2 previous only monthly Rumble tournaments. Wurgl, a very strong player from retail, plays elite mod occasionally, seems to like the tournaments, so we'll see how they go. Lictor alpha, a very strong 1v1 commander, and also the Apothecary apparently, because he's doing very well in the tournaments. Toilailee and Dark Riku both playing the Apothecary in recent monthly Rumble tournaments. These Tactical Marines seem to be in trouble, but the Apothecary is there to heal them up when needed. There it is, and they are gonna force melee on his termagants, and are doing very well at it as well. Lictor alpha now on the Apothecary scouts, tickling him with their bolters. Those termagants took a lot of quite unnecessary losses, 5 losses. I suppose he just wanted to keep those Tactical Marines busy, lest they turn their attention to the Lictor alpha himself. You might see this guy retreat soon. Tactical Marines still on those termagants, and a Lictor alpha has retreated, and there's a full retreat from Wurgl. Double scouts opening from Dark Riku, as you'd expect in a 1v1. Gives you great map control potential for Space Marine scouts, are so quick on their feet. And this is quite an odd 1v1 map, I think. It's very open. You have these 2 points very much out of the way. One of them is a victory point. Also there's contested power though. These big heavy crush walls blocking the approach to the bases, and a natural power for both players right in the middle of the map outside their base. The natural VPs are on the north and west. Warrior Brood out very quickly for Wurgl. Start off as a melee unit that leap into combat, so these guys bring you some nice passive disruption that you don't need to micro. Have power melee damage as well, so they're no pushover in combat. Start with 10-50 hit points, and they are a detector also. Hormagaunts against those Tactical Marines, that's not a good matchup for default Hormagaunts. They're doing quite well though. Gonna take a model on retreat, I think, from the Tactical Marines. Here are Warriors, and no, the Tactical Marines get away with 3 models. Wow, Hormagaunts doing a lot better than I thought they would. Attacks, I think, were already a bit low on health, not sure though. Are we going to see the Master Crafted Bolter from the Apothecary to shut down that Lictor alpha, or at least try to, with full auto? I assume we're going to see the Feeder Tendrils for the Lictor alpha, very powerful power melee weapon with some self heal on hit. I think around 60 power melee DPS, the Feeder Tendrils. Someone can give me the exact value in the comments. Assault Marines jumping in. Jump troops with bolt pistols and chainswords, great for countering setup teams, ranged squads in general, and generally just being a big roadblock for your enemy to have to deal with. Supported by an Apothecary makes them even more durable. They have 400 hit points of heavy infantry armor per model. Sync kill there for the Apothecary, and he's gone for the Sanguine Chainsword. Interesting choice versus the Lictor alpha, will allow the Apothecary to be a bit more aggressive and stay in fights longer, and use his heal on himself a bit less, because he's going to be healing himself for each bolt pistol shot that hits and each melee strike that hits. Not sure exactly how much it heals for, and as you can see from the tooltip here, increases his charge distance, so generally this makes him more effective in melee combat, increases his damage as well, but it doesn't do a huge amount. Lictor alpha is now capping the contested victory point. It's going to be a 1-to-1, soon to be a 2-to-1. Riku taking Wurgl's natural, has both the naturals. There's crippling poison on the Apothecary, losing tons of health and goes down in a flash. Those Hormagaunts leaping into melee combat there, that's because they have basic synapse from those warriors. You see the green stuff all around the heads of these Hormagaunts and Termagants. That's the basic synapse gives you a slight damage resistance and suppression resistance also, I think. Tactical Marines on capping duty have lost a bunch of health but still have 3 models. Assault Marines are also going to decap stuff, and look at this map control that Riku has with his double scouts. Shotguns up for this squad. Maybe double shotguns, not yet. These guys with a sergeant. He might go double sergeant in fact. And Ravener Brood up for Wurgl. Power melee unit, but he's going for Devourers, which will turn them, will give them a ranged weapon rather, and they lose their power melee but still have decent melee DPS. They can disrupt with a Burrow Strike. 468, 395, quite a versatile little squad, but only 300 hit points per model of infantry armor. They can go down quickly and are usually the brunt of focus fire, though he may be focusing down the warriors. 466, 395. We have double sergeants for Riku. Gives them a fragmentation grenade and turns them into a detector unit. You can see the grenade icon and the eye decorator there. 458, 395. Riku in a big blob. Looks like we might get a big engagement. Assault Marines jumping in onto the Termagants. Didn't knock down the full squad, but they are chasing them down. Now the Warrior Brood jumping in, but they are in a bad place. Apothecary not afraid to engage them now. 446, 395. Tactical Marines getting tied up by Raveners and lose a model. Lictor Alpha in amongst scouts, and Hormagaunt's in amongst scouts as well. And there is Crippling Poison on those Assault Marines. A very hectic engagement, and it looks like Wurgl comes out on top with the numerical advantage. Even though those warriors were forced off quite quickly, the Raveners did very well for him there. Assault Marines are still in this. Now they retreat and they might lose a model unless he has a heal to use. Don't think he does. They do lose a model in fact. Ouch. If he had a flesh hook, they might have lost another one. There is the heal. 422, 395 flesh hook is the starting ability of the Lictor Alpha. Nice chunk of damage to a single model, and you pull it towards the Lictor Alpha as well. It has a 60-second cooldown, I believe, and he has gone for the Feed the Tendrils. Doesn't give me the damage value here, unfortunately. Pretty sure it's around 60 DPS power melee. The melee commanders for Tyranids, of course, don't get ranged sidearms, so no bolt pistols and stuff. Getting in a little bit of DPS for them. So their melee weapons tend to be quite powerful. 390, 395. Warrior Brood in amongst the Apothecary. His self-heal Sanguine Chainsword is not going to help him out there, and down he goes. We might just see him use Laraman's Blessing for 150 red. I think it is now. 377, 395 loses a scout squad. Not sure what happened there. Might just took his eyes off them, or is he microing? Oh, he was smacking up the Raveners, I think, and took his eyes off them. Warrior Brood are going to get away with 2 models. Yes. There's Crippling Poison, which might have saved another. 353, 395. Those Termagants weren't quite close enough to be affected by the Synapse Backlash there. Which would have knocked them on their faces and done some damage. I think it's 10% of their health damage now. Synapse Backlash isn't quite as violent as it is in retail, where I think it's 18%. 334, 395. There's the 2-to-1 for Wurgl. And he's starting to creep up with the map control now. What are we going to see from Riku in tier 2? He has gone tier 2. Maybe a Razorback would pretty much force Wurgl to get Venom Brood, and he could put pressure on them with Assault Marines. You'll see Apothecary flesh hooked into trouble, and that is so annoying. I get this all the time with my Plague Champion. You just forget for a second that flesh hook is on the field, and you're just dragged into trouble and eaten down by Hormagaunts and stuff. Gets away there though. 311, 395. Lictor Alpha's level 2. Apothecary also level 2. He's done well with that Sanguine Chainsaw so far. We might see Purification Rites in tier 2 to give a bit more disruption to these Assault Marines. But look at the map control now for Wurgl. In fact, Riku only has his natural power and his natural victory point, and that VP is going to be decapped by the Lictor Alpha. Needs to be careful here though, doesn't want to lose too much while he's trying to buy time to decap. Lost a Ravener. Here come Warrior Brood. I assume these guys will get their adrenal glands in tier 2. In fact, it's already queued up. We'll provide a melee synapse for those Hormagaunts. Would have also provided it for the Raveners if they didn't get their Devourers. 270, 395. Termagants getting away with 2 models. They have their Toxin Sacks, of course. Such an awesome upgrade. 256, 395. Razorback is the choice from Riku. Special attack on that scout. Lictor Alpha will just infiltrate himself and try and get out of the detection range of these scouts. 233, 395. No, doesn't even bother infiltrating. Assault Marines here. Gonna engage. Can he get a model before he's forced off? No, he can't. And a Venom Brood is up for Wurgl. Dark Riku forcing Wurgl's hand. Can he take advantage now? With some synapse backlashes from these Assault Marines. Needs to be careful with the Lictor there and Adrenal Gland Hormagaunts there. The Assault Marines are going to be under pressure, so I'm still expecting us to see Purification Rites. No sign of it yet. Maybe some Stern Guard veterans. We do have a Tactical Marine Sergeant, maybe a Plasma Gun then, to put some serious DPS on those warriors. And the Venom Brood, of course, as well. Wow, look at the damage that the Razorback took. Just a couple of volleys from the Venom Brood. They really do pile on the DPS, these guys. Don't do a lot versus infantry though. They can also get a ranged synapse, which might be good for Wurgl. Will boost the health and the damage of the Termagants and the Raveners. Assault Marines have their Sergeant. Gives them a model that carries a power sword, and he just got flesh hooked. That is the Sergeant. Also gives them Merciless Strike, which is an awesome ability. One of the best abilities in the game for a melee squad, I think. And we might see it here on these warriors. He might have overextended his guys. There is the heal from the Apothecary. Needs to get to level 3 to boost that heal up. Assault Marines doing very well. Look how much damage they are absorbing here, keeping Wurgl very, very busy. But they have been forced off. There's the smoke shell from the Razorback. 167, 395, 2-to-1 cap for Wurgl. Purification Rites would have really helped him out there, I think. Here's some Spore Mines dropped by the Lictor Alpha. That's one of his globals. A pretty damn good global as well. Not sure how much it is exactly. 157, 395. But Spore Mines anywhere on the field, anytime you like. It's pretty nice. Lictor Alpha now infiltrated. He's getting on his way to level 3. Apothecary almost halfway. And tier 3 for Wurgl. I thought he was going to go for a Tyrant Guard or something. Quite a good map for a Tyrant Guard, I think, since you usually have a bunch of big engagements in mid where the Tyrant Guard can really put insane pressure on his assault squad. What was the Lictor Alpha doing there? What is Termagants trying to do? Tactical Marines right there, and they're going to wipe them out, I think. Just a couple of bolter shots. A big mistake there from Wurgl. Not sure what happened. 155, 379. A Tactical Marine squad is forced off though. And Dark Riku is throwing a lot of resources. A Dreadnought maybe. Yes, a Dreadnought is on the way. I would keep it in its melee state, but he might go for an assault cannon, but I love melee walkers, that's why. I just charge it into the warriors and try and tie up the Venom Brood with the Assault Marines and see how that goes. 155, 368, we'll see what he goes for though. Might surprise everyone and go for a multi-mod or something, which would be pretty nasty. Razorback getting away with 66 hit points, no sign of its health upgrade. Spending all of his power on this Dreadnought. 450, 120, 155, 368, 1-to-1 cap. Hormagaunts under melee synapse, giving him 60% more health and plus 10 melee skill. Hormagaunts and Termagants also get 5% more health per tier. That change happened when the melee synapse was changed. Melee synapse used to give plus 75% hit points. Values of things changed around a bit so that Hormagaunts and Termagants are a bit more effective without their synapse around. 154, 367. Here is the Dreadnought, and he has gone for the assault cannon. Lots of big single target damage to infantry and an awesome barrage, which could win engagements for Riku. Loses the heavy melee splash, but still retains some very nice heavy melee damage. We're going to see it here in the Lictor, and there is the inspiration from that melee kill which the Space Marine Dreadnought has, which is why it's such a good walker. You see the inspiration on the scouts there, that yellow buff circle giving them more damage. It does a bunch more things as well, I always forget what it does, but the damage buff is the main thing. Wurgl's going to try and decap the contested on the east side. Riku's done so well to recover here, and now he's got some Devastators, preparing perhaps for monstrous creatures in tier 3. I suppose he knows Wurgl's gone tier 3 because he hasn't seen anything else since the Venom Brood. Still no purification rights. Lictor is down. Gonna need to pay 250 rec to get him back on the field, and a Carnifex is on the way, and Wurgl has almost enough for a nuke as well. 132, 349. Assault Cannon shooting up a node from range. Wurgl just staying back. He's been kind of overloaded by vehicles here. Can't pressure the Razorback and the Dreadnought really with his composition. Wonder what we're going to see from this Carnifex. I'd go for the Thornback, or we might see a Venom Cannon. 132, 335. Former Gaunts trying to decap now. And look at this map from Riku. What is Wurgl up to? Thinks about decapping, but I think spotted those Assault Marines. 132, 328. Now the Termagants will try to decap. Wurgl making his mind up of what to do. Looks like he's going to come mid. Apothecary sitting pretty. Almost level 3 for that boosted heal. The Apothecary's heal gets upgraded every 2 levels. Devastator's coming over. A setup team with a heavy bolter by support. By default, I should say, will suppress infantry, but you might see a las cannon now because here is a Carnifex with the Thornback upgrade, and there's the charge. He's going right after these Devastators. Such an awesome upgrade for the Carnifex. 1875 hit points at level 1, and this thing can level up, remember, can also spawn Rippers and does a whole bunch of damage as well, and it's going straight after this Dreadnought here. 121, 328. Does he have Thunder and Lightning? He's getting it now. Gives these Assault Squad a Melter Bomb. Full retreat from Wurgl, yes. The Carnifex is a vehicle in terms of unit type, so can't retreat. Does regenerate health though, since it's a living thing. 121, 328. Doesn't need to retreat though, but there's a las cannon. That is a threat to the Carnifex, snaring its movement and doing big chunks of damage per hit. Is he going to charge it? What is the cooldown on the Carnifex's charge? Looks like he's content just to go after Dreadnought. There's a Torrent formation. A lot of damage to the Devastators. The Carnifex should turn around and hit those Devastators and wipe them out. Really focused on taking down this Dreadnought though. Dreadnought with 2 hit points. Just one more touch from that Carnifex and it'll go down. Doesn't take out the Devastators either. He's going to chase it into base obviously, and down it goes with a sync kill. Awesome. 121, 299. Riku gets another Dreadnought. 121, 294. Maybe a multi-melter for this guy. Not sure though. Do we have a missile launcher? We don't. We have level 4 tactical marines. Those Devastators lived, which is quite lucky. Well, not that lucky I suppose. You have to choose between taking out a Dreadnought or a Devastator squad. He's going to take out a Dreadnought, isn't he? 121, 281. Double cap for Riku. Look at this recovery. What's this? It's tactical marines versus a Lictor Alpha level 2. These are level 4 attacks though, with almost 2,000 hit points for these guys. Riku has a whole bunch of red, but he's not tier 3, so he can't get Terminators or drop a nuke. We have the second Dreadnought. Starts out with 2 close combat weapons and a wrist-mounted flamer. Doesn't really want to trade blows with the Carnifex. Carnifex just has way too much health, and it's going to level soonish. has lost a bunch of health though from those las cannon hits. Where is the las cannon? It's set up mid. The range it has, almost reaching the other side of this big central expanse. Does he have line of sight? He does. There's a shot. 119, 257. Can he get another one? Yes. 115, 257. The Space Marine las cannon has that big wind up that you see, compared to the Chaos las cannon that has no wind up but has a wind down. 110, 257. Dreadnought going after the Venom Brood. Looks like he's happy to keep this guy in its melee state for now. And I assume he's going to look for tier 3 now when he can. 110, 254. Carnifex took a lot of damage. Is he going to send it back to base to heal up? 110, 249. There's a flesh hook on the Apothecary. Ravener's getting shots in level 2. Ravener Brood. Look at this pressure from Riku, and look at this map control from Riku. The right choice, it looks like, to stay in tier 2 and get these Dreadnoughts going. Warrior Brood level 2 up to 1811 hit points. Wow. 23 heavy melee DPS per model. That's not bad at all. And we have a Librarian for Riku. Tome of Time already up, obviously to support this las cannon Devastator squad. Tome of Time increases movement speed and also prevents setup teams from needing to set up, which is a huge buff for setup teams. Obviously can chase things down with them. So this Carnifex in trouble. I'm not sure if Wurgl knows that there's a Librarian there. Now he must know, because there's Gate of Infinity used from the Psychic Hood. 110, 200. Wurgl has a lot of resources. Might see a Doom of Malantai. Oh no, just another Carnifex. There we go. Maybe a Venom Cannon this time. Or just another Thornback would be pretty annoying. 110, 188. Razorback still around. Has done quite well for Riku. Does reasonable damage with that Twin Links Heavy Bolter. Is going to take rear armor hits though from this Warrior Brood, but there's a nice grenade. Doesn't take a model, but took a bunch of health off these warriors, and now they're going to be weakened for the next engagement, if this thing can even get away. 102, 188. No, cannot get away. Wow. Ormagaunt's helping out with some DPS there. And there's a retreat from Wurgl. A good play from him. 93, 188. We now have a missile launcher up for the Tactical Marines. Turns them into this nice soft anti-vehicle. Raveners disrupting the Devastators. There's the Emperor's Fist from the Dreadnought, and now it's trading blows with that Carnifex. Where is that second one? Here it comes in the background there. There's Angels of Death, global ability of the Apothecary, 50% less damage received for all of this infantry, and they are immune to all types of knockback. Does not affect this Dreadnought though. Wow, Carnifex is going to be taken down, I think, or is it? Charges away. How much hit points? 26. The Dreadnought did so well there. Did have missile support, of course, and this Carnifex has no upgrade. Missile hits. He's trying to take this Dreadnought down, and he's going to, isn't he? One more hit, and down it goes, and a sync kill again. Awesome stuff. Can he get out of here though? Takes out a Assault Marine with a sync kill as well. 52, 188. Still taking missile hits. Assault Squad still there, and here's another Dreadnought from Dark Riku, and he's going to take this Carnifex down with it. One more hit. That was a special attack, which was not ideal, but now it goes down, and there's the inspiration, but there's nothing close enough to get inspired. Here we have Tactical Marines with And They Shall Know No Fear versus the Warriors. As you can see, doing those knockback attacks, they get a 50% chance to knock back with their melee attacks, and some awesome damage resistance as well. Really cool ability for the Tactical Marines. What is this guy doing? It's a Venom Brood and a Carnifex there. 9, 188. Riku very low on VPs, but he's going to get a triple cap here, and The third Dreadnought goes down again with a sync kill. I don't know what he was doing. He might have just forgotten about his Dreadnought. I'm not sure. He has scouts, so could have repaired it up. So they have a Carnifex with Thornback. Venom Brood are now pretty much useless, especially since they have no range synapse, no vehicles on the field for Riku. What is he going to do now? 142 has a triple cap. Does he go tier 3 and try and get some Terminators? Would that even be worth it? Perhaps a Predator instead and a nuke. 128. Carnifex and Warrior Brood in amongst these tactical marines. Not a good place for them. There's the heal, but they're going to take a lot of damage. Warrior Brood are forced off though. That Librarian helping out with that Force Sword, which is a power melee weapon. Still level 1. Can also get a power melee staff, which is a pretty cool weapon. Gives him a good ranged attack as well, that staff. Ravenor's getting taken down by bolt pistol to the head. 117. Another Dreadnought from Dark Riku. And a tier 3 Lictor from Wurgl. That is a nasty unit right there. Here he is. Some beastly heavy melee DPS can also jump into combat, infiltrate and flesh hook right out the gate. And there is the game from Wurgl. Had a single cap at the end, which was enough. Awesome stuff. And again, big thanks to Eerie for organising another very successful tournament. Big shout out to all the players who took part. Riku made the final again. And a big shout out to all the people who streamed as well, and it was a big stream. Codex streamed, Uncle Milty, I think Blessed Spartan joined in a bit later, and someone else, I think Crazy Man, streamed some stuff. And it was like an 8-hour tournament and those guys covered all of it. I think it went even a bit longer than that. So there you go. Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.